Ladies and gentlemen, we have a good one for you today. This one is personal. One of my favorite cartoons. Hopefully, after this, it becomes one of your favorite cartoons. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, and people of non-binary descent, I introduce to you Kick Buttowski, Suburban Daredevil, one of, if not in my personal opinion, the best slice of life hijink shows that Disney has ever put out there. And today, I'm going to tell you why it's one of the greatest slice of life hijinks animations from Disney, period. So let's sit back and enjoy some Kick Buttowski, everyone. So before I get into Kick Buttowski, I want to give you a little bit of a history lesson. There were two entities back in the early to mid 2000s called Toon Disney and Jetix. Now, these two entities were combined onto one channel. You had Toon Disney was a network that was made for classic Disney cartoons like Tailspin and DuckTales. It also had Disney movies like Kim Possible and The Proud Family. It was mostly made for the daytime cartoon watcher, but at night, that's when the boys came to play in Jetix. Jetix was the nighttime cartoon network for shows like Power Rangers and Winx Club and Totally Spies and Super Robot Monkey Team, Hyperforce Go, and Get Ed. It was the alternative to Toon Disney where they dealt with classic daytime cartoons. It was more for the more masculine audience. You know, once again, it had shows like Power Rangers and Winx Club and Totally Spies and Super Robot Monkey Team, Hyperforce Go. That's a separate video. And Get Ed. Uh, yeah, it also introduced certain animes to the Western audience. Like, when you put these two networks together, it created, quite honestly, magic. Toon Disney and Jetix, pretty much were, two and two with each other up until Jetix basically murdered Toon Disney when it comes to ratings. But, in 2010, we had a fusion of epic proportions when Toon Disney and Jetix combined to create the cartoon channel we know today as Disney XD. Disney XD came around in 2010. It was basically the fusion of Jetix and Toon Disney. It combined the daytime cartoon elements of Toon Disney and the more action-packed, more hijinks nighttime cartoon of Jetix. And when Disney XD burst onto the scene in 2010, it had a select few shows that I would call cult classics. One of them being the show we're talking about today, and Kick Buttowski. Kick Buttowski was introduced to us on February 13th, 2010. It starred a grade school kid in the name of Kick Buttowski, who essentially, his dreams in life, his one goal, his sole purpose for his existence was to become the next Evel Knievel, the next great, hopefully, American stuntman. He would do these over-the-top stunts in his neighborhood, just so he could become Evel Knievel. And with the help of his best friend Gunther, some of these stunts would go well, but some would go wrong. At the end of the day, he truly was a suburban daredevil. Then you have Kick Buttowski's best friend and Gunther Magnuson. He was his right hand man. He was the comedy relief in this show. Is Gunther Magnuson the most funniest character in Kick Buttowski? Yeah, he was the funniest character in Kick Buttowski. He was pretty much the jester, you know what I mean, the comedy relief. He would assist Kick in all of his stunts to become the next Evel Knievel. He also was a Viking. Yeah, he was a Viking. His parents are Vikings, and they run a Viking restaurant. I swear to you, I am not making that up. Everything I just told you in those last 2 seconds are true. Gunther is a Viking in a suburban neighborhood. You gotta love this show. You gotta love it. Also, before I leave, Gunther's character is played by Matt L. Jones, who is one of the most funniest people on the planet right now. Yeah. Google Matt L. Jones if you don't believe me. Also, funny enough, they had another character, which was Kick Buttowski's older brother in Brad Buttowski, who was the antagonist of the show. I guess so. He pretty much would try to ruin all of Kick's stunts. He was just there as the older sibling who pretty much just bullied the younger sibling. He was that trope. He was also pretty funny, mostly because whenever his attempts to ruin Kick's stunts would fail, massively, he was kind of the villain of the show, if that makes sense. He was also one of the more funnier characters of the show, along with Gunther. So, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the great things about this show. Mostly was its characters and the things that they would get into. Each episode, it was kind of like, an episodic slice of life thing. And, it's one of those shows. Kick Buttowski is one of those shows that kind of goes under the radar, mostly because upon further research, it only did run for 2 seasons. But it was really good when it was around, in my opinion. Its pacing was really good. There were other minor characters that were really interesting. Like there was this one chick who was just 100% a fool on yandere. Um, the stunts were pretty cool. I mean, it was really just a really good show. For my 10-year-old brain at the time, and rewatching it now, I still enjoy it. It's on Disney Plus. If it's on Disney Plus, if you want to watch it, both seasons are on Disney Plus, I think. I would recommend it. And with that, y'all, it has been Mark Danger, and I will see you later. Watch Kick Buttowski.